You're on.
Ms. Huerta, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Chairwoman Carolyn Vaughn.
Here.
Board members Steve Banta is absent. Roland Barrera.
Here.
Sylvia Campos. Here. Eric Anthu is absent. Jesse Gilbert is absent. Ron Graben. Here. Paulette Guajardo. Present. Gil Hernandez. Here. David Lowe. Here. Kaylin Paxson. Here. Mike Pusley. Here. Everett Roy.
Here.
Connie Scott. Here. Mark Scott is absent. All right, we do have a quorum present to conduct the meeting.
Thank you. Would anyone like to make public comment? Yes, we have one. This is your second time up, isn't it?
Hi, good morning. My name is Ariana Jones, and I'm a lifetime resident of North Beach. I'm here on behalf of the North Beach Community Association to deliver our 2025 priorities that were approved by the entire membership in January. Number 1, beach access road improvements. We propose elevating roads at the east end of North Beach with fill dirt to reduce tidal flooding, along with repaving, adding curbs, and installing sidewalks. Concrete is suggested over asphalt to withstand extended flooding periods. Number 2, the North Beach City Committee. We request the city form an official committee composed of local stakeholders, businesses, residents, and attractions to collaborate on and recommend improvements for North Beach. Number 3, the North Beach Eco Park. We seek engagement from the city in planning and the development of the North Beach Eco Park funded by the Bond 2022 project. This park will transform underutilized land into a space for education, wildlife habitat, and public enjoyment. Number 4, the North Beach History Plaza completion. We propose completing the North Beach History Plaza by designing an entryway sign and adding bollards to define the plaza. Installing canvas shade covers over the 16 educational panels, similar to those at Surfside Park, will improve comfort for visitors. Number 5, support breakwater proposal. We support the construction of breakwaters in the bay off of North Beach to combat erosion, protect properties, support wildlife habitats, and create tourism opportunities. Number 6, to increase fire and police presence. We recommend dedicating a police officer to North Beach and building a police and fire substation on the beach to improve safety and reduce response times. This could also provide volunteer opportunities for residents. Number 7, beach improvements. Key upgrades needed include repairing the broken section of beach walk near Surfside Park, removing rebar from the shore, adding more benches along the beach walk, and planting palm trees in higher areas of the beach that aren't affected by saltwater flooding. These priorities will help ensure North Beach remains a vibrant, safe, and accessible destination for all. Additionally, the North Beach Community Association is in support of the addition of sidewalks and bike lanes along the TxDOT frontage roads near the harbors and Lighthouse Point. The MPO recently added that sidewalk proposal to its 2025 mobility map. Thank you for your continued support improving North Beach.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience? Ms. Huerta, do you have any public comment?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Let's move on. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If there are none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 24770, approval of the July 16, 2024 meeting. Oh, no. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't done this in years. Like 10. Okay, we're going to go to the financial report, and I hope I get your name right. Mr. Villasana?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Is that right?
That is perfect.
Really?
Yes,
Just let me hear you say it.
yeah, it's Villasana.
I was close.
Exactly
Okay.
as it's spelled. It's,
All right,
yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Sergio Villasana, Director of Finance and Procurement here. Included in your agenda packet are unaudited financials for the tax increment reinvestment zone number 4. We do have a brief presentation for you on the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes to fund balance. Feel free to stop me at any time, ask any questions regarding the financials. I'm going to go ahead and just jump into the presentation. That's not the presentation. It was uploaded, I believe. Joe? I'm not sure if y'all have a paper copy on your booklet. We can
We do.
get
Does
started.
everyone have one? Yeah,
Okay, is it okay to proceed? Okay.
sure.
All right, starting on slide number 2, page number 2, is the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes to fund balance as of January 31st, 2025. We start with the amended budget column, and I'll go ahead and just go straight down that column for you here. So total revenues budgeted for the year amounted to $1,181,978. Total expenditures budgeted for the fiscal year amounted to $566,161. This would result in an estimated increase to your fund balance of $615,817, leaving you an ending fund balance of $2,136,361. We jump over to the next column over. We have actuals year to date. This is as of January 31st. We start off with total revenues of $674,399. That leaves about $507,579 revenues needed to make budget. We then have total expenditures of $47,592. This results in an increase to fund balance of $626,807 as of January 31st, leaving you an ending fund balance of $2,147,351. I'll take any questions on that slide. Okay. Okay. Next slide over is our 5-year forecast of funds available for commitments. If we start with the very first or the second row there, it's fiscal year 2026. We start the beginning fund balance is your estimated fund balance, ending fund balance for fiscal year 2025, $2,136,361. We are estimating revenues at $1,120,275. We do have a future incentive in 2026 of $262,415. Administrative expenses of $138,776, leaving an estimated balance for available future commitments of $2,855,445. And we can continue down those rows. At the end of the day, we're forecast by over the 5 years and 2030, if no other additional commitments are added, we're estimating an available fund balance of about $5.8 million. I'll take any questions on that schedule.
Are there any questions? No.
Okay. The next few slides are just a schedule of upcoming commitments. We start with the project-specific development commitments. We have a grand total of $229,883 committed for Las Casitas del Mar project. These are anticipated commitments for fiscal year 2027 through fiscal year 2030. Next, we have the North Beach Living Initiative commitments. As of January 31st, we do have a commitment of $140,000 for also Las Casitas del Mar project of $140,000. And finally, we have the North Beach property improvement projects, which include Hotel de Ville and Beach Fajitaville, for a total of $1,312,073. And that concludes my presentation on financials for TERS number 4. I'll take any questions.
Any questions? None. Thank you so much for your report.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I don't see you up here. Discussion. No? Okay, hold on.
Got it? Okay.
Got it.
Thank you. On page 8, under the amended budget where we show the contracts and commitments, does that include encumbrances that we have listed currently but yet have not been awarded?
So the contracts and commitments would be your commitments are budgeted for fiscal year 2025. So if we have a contract for this current fiscal year, it is accounted for in that budget.
Okay, but the project, but that we have projects that we've signed contracts on that have not begun yet. So, and we're carrying them as encumbrances on the budget. Or does that reflect those, or are they not shown on here?
No. So for future years, for 26, 27, and 28, those aren't reflected in that 427.
Okay.
So for 427, for fiscal year 2025, we do have $262,415 estimated for North Beach property improvements.
Okay,
There may be something else in there that have to go back and look at our original budget presentation to come up to that 427.
okay. Yeah, that would be good. I'm trying to figure out where that would come from. And then on page 9, where you show your admin and other expenses, which is reflected back on page 8 as well, the 138,776 is your projected admin and other expenses, which is shown flat from 2026 to 2030. So is that 138 your current admin and expenses, and you're just projecting that through to not change?
That is correct. We have admin expenses of $133,000 and then a $5,000 for software costs.
Okay. Should we not apply some sort of CPI index average, based on previous 5 years or something to those? I can't imagine that admin and other expenses is going to stay flat until 2030.
No, we can definitely add an increase, but we did keep revenues flat, so we're kind of keeping everything flat at this point. Depending on the revenue trend, we may need to adjust.
Of course, we can't predict what revenue will do. It may go up or down, but I would not think that your admin expenses are going to get any less expensive unless but anyway, I just wanted to mention that. So, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Okay, none. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We're going to move to agenda items number 3. I'm going to open nominations for vice chair.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Ron Graven.
Okay, any others?
I'd like to nominate Everett.
Anyone else? Okay, nominations are now closed. Let's vote
Where would you like to start, Ms. Vaughn?
with Mayor
Want me-
Wahardo.
Mayor
we'll
Wahardo?
start down
Okay,
here.
and then we'll go around this
Okay,
way, if you
that's
like.
fine.
Yes, ma'am. Mayor Wahardo? There's an election for vice chair. The candidates are Ron Graben and Everett Roy.
Yeah.
For vice chair.
That's a hard one.
It's hard to go first, isn't it, Mayor? Yeah.
I'm going to go with Ron. Well, since I nominated him, I'll do Everett. Sorry. Ron.
Mr. Graven?
Everett.
Ron?
Well, I'm changing mine. I thought you want. Go ahead.
You can change it.
I'll go with Ron.
Ron.
Everett.
Ron.
It is difficult, but Ron, since I nominated
Back, you know?
What you be going? Do I vote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Since you know you're in the lead, might as well. Yeah.
Gonna vote for my self-interest.
Okay.
Mr. Graben is elected vice chair.
Okay, thank you. We are going to move to item number 4, motion approving tax increment reinvestment zone, number 4, board meeting calendar for fiscal year 2025.
I'll move for approval.
Okay, need a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 5, motion to approve a development and reimbursement agreement with Scurry Dog Incorporated. Do we have a presentation? Yes.
Good morning, members of the board. Dr. Marquez, Director of Economic Development, and today we're going to present to you a reimbursement request for a property owner, business owner on North Beach. So Scurvy Dog, Inc. is the owner of Blackbeard's, and it's located in 3117 Surfside Boulevard, just behind the DoubleTree by Hilton. It's a restaurant that's been in operation since 1991, and it's a one-story restaurant with an outdoor dining area. The restaurant is, of course, centrally located between the three largest hotels on North Beach. And they're looking to do a rebuild of their wall, their north wall. The exterior and interior wallproofing, the exterior and interior waterproofing structural repairs, additional waterproofing with a caulk, seal, and trim, and of course, new paint. Here's just a few pictures of what the place looks like currently. And the total project cost is of $22,488 with a 10% contingency, bringing the total cost to $24,737. Historically, we have approved up to 30% of the total cost, so it is staff recommendation to do 30%. However, I do want to point out that the previous projects that have been approved at 30% were much, much larger. This reimbursement at $7,421, of course, is very minimal, so it's up to the board if you would like to consider reimbursement at 50%. Now, the guidelines do provide the leeway for you guys to approve up to 50%, but again, just to keep consistent with what has been done in the past at 30, it's what we're just bringing up to consideration. If so, we do also recommend that the payment be done in one single payment. Typically, the program, the way that it works is that it's broken down into two payments, one after the certificate of occupancy is issued, and another one year after. Again, because of the amount, we are suggesting that this be done in one single payment. So it is expected to be completed in September 30th of 2025, just this year. And for that, I leave it up to any questions.
Motion to approve.
We have discussion. Ms. Paxson?
Thank you, Chairwoman. Could you explain or elaborate? I know that you have up until 50% that you can approve reimbursement for, but my notes, I was going to ask why the 30% recommendation. You paused saying that this was kind of your historical standard. Can you elaborate? Is that something that is just your, this is your standard, we can go up to 50, but we're always going to recommend 30? Is there a thought process behind that? Being that the ask is so low that we stuck with that? Could you elaborate all that?
Sure. Yeah. Usually, we do anticipate larger projects, and a lot of these projects, when they're in the millions, obviously, we do have a finite resources as far as financials. So when we go 30%, it is, of course, to make sure that that we're able to utilize more of the finances in other projects. But this one being so small, like I said, it's up to the board to consider 50%. Just as we heard a little bit earlier from the financial reports, with Fajitaville and with the other hotel, those were in the couple $100,000. So again, 30% just kind of made a little bit more sense back then. But this one is a small project. So the guidelines do allow you guys to do up to 50%. So again, just historically, we just kind of kept it the same, but it's up to the board to determine whether you guys want to go up to 50.
Thank you. I do tend to like to lean conservative as spending, and you probably know that, but sure. I was just curious if that was something we were just, for lack of a better term, kind of rubber stamping a 30% on there, because it would make a lot of sense when you are talking hundreds of thousands, but this is a slightly smaller project.
Exactly.
And of course, we value your recommendation, so I was just curious on that part.
Yeah, it really has to do with the size of the project. Previous ones have been in the millions, and this one is just, smaller, so.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Graven?
Oh, I think it's me, actually.
Is it you?
Yeah,
It doesn't.
sorry.
It says Steve Banta.
Yeah, yeah, mine's Jesse Gilbert, so. The origin of the 30% from the downtown tours was that typically a standard financial arrangement for lending on a commercial note is you need 30% equity from the partners. And so these incentives were originally designed around from the ground up, where somebody's acquiring the property. And the feeling was that if you went higher than 30% in that circumstance, you were essentially giving people cash outside of the deal, and that you could get some very squirrely deals, because if somebody only has to put 30% in, but the city's giving them 50%, they put the 30% in, They do the project, they get 50% back from the city, they've made a profit, they don't care whether the project's successful long-term. That doesn't really apply in this case because it's an already owned building and they're doing a small renovation of it. So I'm pretty comfortable if we want to waive it. But I mean, that was the original idea of it, is that you'd have people mining the incentive rather than trying to do real projects.
As a unique member of this committee, because my head goes on the pillow every night on North Beach, I'm president of North Beach Community Association. We are 100% in favor of allowing 50% on this particular case. So,
Anyone else? Ms. Huerta, can I make a motion to allow the 50%?
Yes, ma'am, you can.
I just made it. Okay.
Yes, it would be an amendment.
Okay.
Because it's, well, let me read it. What is it? I know the item says that, but. Yeah, it would be an amendment. So you want to make a motion? First, we'll make a
amend.
motion to approve it.
Yes. All in favor, say aye.
Well, not favor, just a motion to approve in a second.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. So yes, ma'am, just make a motion to amend.
I make a motion to amend it.
Okay.
Have a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, and then make a motion, then we approve the whole thing as amended.
I would change my motion to say accept it as amended.
To accept the amendment?
Second.
Okay. So it's a motion to approve as amended.
Motion to approve as amended.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President.
Don't make this hard my first time, Mike. Come on.
No, that's,
All
That
in
is
favor, say
proper.
aye.
and the
Any
second was
opposed?
Judge Scott.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Ms. Huerta?
No, ma'am, that's
Are we
it.
good?
That's the last item.
Okay. This meeting is adjourned.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Man. No wonder you didn't get vice chair.